Hello everyone and welcome back to Ocean Cadence. Taking our series of topics covered under the marine electricals ahead, today we'll be diving deep and understanding about a device that looks tiny but has literally changed the modern electronics, which is the transistor. Please be very assured that it is one of the most commonly and frequently asked topics across MEO orals at different levels and also in terms of the applicability on ship during maintenance and understanding of electrical and electronics topics. It is very important to be familiar with the understanding of transistor. So, having emphasized on its importance, let us now understand the different topics we'll be covering under the video. We'll be starting with what a transistor actually is and then moving to its basic working principle. We'll also try to simplify the family grouping of the transistor, which is the BJT and the FET, and also then deep dive under the BJT into the main and the commonly asked questions about the NPN and PNP transistor, understanding the current flow and the circuit's behavior. And will also help you understand briefly about the application of transistors on board merchant and passenger ships. Having said this far, now let us emphasize and discuss what is a transistor actually. So, in simple or layman's language, a transistor is a semiconductor device which is used to switch or amplify electronic signals. If you want to think of it in an analog manner, think of it as an electronic tap. So, what happens is that a small input flow controls a much larger output flow, which in other words can also be explained as a tiny current or voltage can control a large current flow. And it is because of this the transistors can perform two major functions. One is the switching action, that is turning an equipment on and off electronically, and second is the amplification part, which means increasing the strength of weak signals. Transistors are built from semiconductor materials, for example silicon, and they consist of strategically arranged layers of p-type and n-type material. Now a small side question would be, what is a p-type or an n-type material? So in semiconductors, the n-type and p-type refers to how pure silicon or germanium is doped to improve its conductivity. So for an n-type semiconductor, the n is the negative, which means the majority carriers are electrons. So how it is made? So to simply understand, pure silicon has 4 valence electrons, and when you add an impurity atom with 5 valence electrons, for example phosphorus, arsenic, etc., one extra electron is left free. So this extra electron becomes a free charge carrier, and therefore electrons become the majority charge carrier. That is why it is called as the n-type. Vice versa, on p-type, which is the p is equals to positive or positive majority charge carrier, which can also be called as the majority carriers being holes. So now how p-type semiconductor is made? So it is made by doping silicon with atoms having 3 valence electrons, therefore creating a missing electron which can be called as a hole. This missing electron will then behave like a positive charge carrier, therefore giving the name p-type. Now coming back to the main topic of transistors, let us understand the basic structure and working. So regardless of the type, almost all transistors have three terminals: the base, which is the control input, the collector, which is the main current input, and the emitter, which is the output terminal. Think of the base to be like the control gate. A small change here causes a big change between the collector and the emitter. And that is why transistors are called current control or voltage control devices depending upon their type. Now, the main classification of a transistor is done as either a BJT or an FET. So, what is a BJT? In simple terms, a BJT is a bipolar junction transistor, and these work on current control, where a small base current controls a larger collector current. This is clearly shown by the fact that on almost every common circuit, the IB enters the base and IC flows through the collector to the emitter path. The types of bipolar junction transistor then goes to subclassify as NPN or PNP type, which we will be explaining shortly as the main content of this video. Again, going back to the second major category, which is the field effect transistor. Instead of working on current, a voltage is applied at the gate controls and it controls the flow between the drain and the source. Now, FETs have very high input impedance, which means they draw almost no current, and they are subclassified as JFET or MOSFET. But over here, we would like to focus upon the bipolar junction transistors first and give you a detailed run through of NPN and PNP type as the building basics of the transistor part. So we already understand that NPN and PNP are types of BJT. Then now let us understand what is an NPN transistor. It is actually one of the most commonly used transistor types, and it allows the current flow from collector to emitter. That means if you look at the diagram carefully, the arrow on the emitter symbol always points outwards. So this is also a common way to understand that if you see a simple diagram, you can understand whether it is of NPN type. The base must receive positive voltage to turn on. So in precise terminology, the working of an NPN transistor is that a small current enters the base and it allows a much larger current to flow from collector to emitter, and the load, which is shown in the form of resistance across the circuit, receives the current. And this is why NPN is usually used as a low side switch or for lower current range operations. The PNP transistor, on the other hand, over here the current flows from the emitter to the collector. So the arrow on the emitter points inwards. This means the base must be pulled low to turn it on actually, which means that PNP transistors are used when the load needs to be connected to negative side or when we require what we call as a high side switch. So now how do we remember the direct application over here? So always remember NPN needs positive at the base and PNP needs negative at the base, both of them for turning on. In a bipolar junction transistor, the current relationship is given as the total emitter current being a sum of IC and IB, that is the collector and the base. So because IB and IC have a symphony where the IB is small and IC is much larger, the transistor can provide amplification. Now, in case of a bipolar junction transistor, you would come across a terminology which we regard as the operating region. So the specific region of operation for a BJT is determined by the biasing condition, which is the forward or the reverse bias. And the forward or reverse bias or the biasing condition precisely of its two internal PN junctions, which we can regard as the base emitter junction and the base collector junction. So depending upon this, it has four primary regions of operation: the active region, the saturation region, the cutoff region, and the inverse active or the reverse active region as we can call. Out of this, as you can guess from the name itself, the inverse active is the one which is regarding as the reverse biased. And this is the one which we have very rare and uncommon applications for. So within the cutoff region, the base current is zero or insufficient, and therefore the transistor behaves like an open switch, which means that no collector current flows. However, in the active region, the base current increases gradually and the transistor amplifies. It is within this region of operation where its applicability is in the analog circuits. And in the saturation region, the base current is large enough to make the transistor fully on and it behaves like a closed switch. So the collector emitter voltage drops to minimum. Through all this explanation and through understanding the nature of the transistor, we can now have a very good understanding of where this device can be possibly implemented on board ships. So transistors are used very widely in the maritime industry. They can be used in the application of automation and monitoring systems in items such as temperature controllers, RPM sensors, or even bridge control consoles and alarm monitoring systems. Within the power control and the electronics part, they can be used in inverters, they can be used in UPS, battery charging systems, or even VFDs. They also have a very large implementation and application in the communication and navigation system, where they are used in radar transceivers, VHF radios, AIS transmitters also. And in the control of engine room also, they are used in electronic fuel injection control, they are used in boiler control system, startup interlock circuits. So basically, almost every electronic circuit where you can imagine, possibly there would be an application or a utility of a transistor. So I hope that this detailed run through helps you to understand what a transistor is. And under the bipolar junction transistor, we have tried to give you a very clear cut idea of what an NPN and PNP transistor is. Now, this entire explanation has been detailed in a way keeping in mind that you can get the necessary output for understanding what exact answers or what exact information you might need to share with the surveyor, or what they are looking for in terms of understanding in very simple or layman terms within a very quick time frame, without overdwelling or getting confused about too much of the basics. So if you find this video to be helpful, do not forget to like our videos and subscribe our channel and share it further with your fellow seafarers and other marine engineering students and your colleagues to help our channel grow. Thank you.